back to the channel. Had another video I was going to release today, but with the new update, I wanted to do this this video right here. This is the first substantial update we've had to the black box in a while. I think it's been 261 for a couple updates now. Goes to 274 now. They made some changes. One of the biggest complaints I see all the time is, the transducer not found. The little box that comes up when you turn it on. I see they've addressed that issue, so that's a non-issue. What they're allowing now also is if you have a Garmin Force, there is a heading sensor in a Garmin Force, very similar to the Steadicast. Where's the Steadicast? There it is, right there. Very similar to the Steadicast. Now, the Steadicast stabilizes your maps, where if you're drifting backwards, we've talked about this in some of the other videos. And as a matter of fact, in the video I was going to release today, I was going to release the winner, but I'll just wait to do that tomorrow or the next day. But the Steadicast stabilizes the maps. Well, now they're allowing you the option, as you can see there we go, it's updating everything. They're allowing you the option of using the Steadicast sensor, or the heading sensor, not the Steadicast, but the heading sensor that's inside of your Garmin Force. So if your transducer is on your shaft, whichever direction that shaft, the trolling motor is pointed, it will be locked in and be synced up to your Livescope. And so it's going to allow more accurate, because the heading sensor, it doesn't rely on having to go forward. You don't have to be moving forward. For example, the Livescope, when you calibrate it, in order for the maps to be correct, and when you're using the beam on the map section where it shows the Livescope overlay, you have to be moving forward for the map to be accurate. If you're drifting backwards, the map can flip on you. And that was one of the reasons that I put the Steadicast on my boat, was to stop that. Well, some people don't want to put a Steadicast, or like for me, I have mine on a pole. So this is not going to benefit me because mine's on a pole. But if you do put it on your pole of your shaft of your Garmin Force, now you essentially have a Steadicast or a heading sensor built into your Livescope by using the heading sensor that's in the Garmin Force. Now it will know precisely where it's pointing. It's going to give you a more accurate, especially the beam on the screen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to finish the updating, and then we're going to take a look at some screenshots and kind of show you what's changed and things like that. But it seems to me they finally did some updates, pretty substantial updates, and of course other bug fixes and things like that. But those are two main things that I saw. So it's moving in the right direction, and being able to use the heading sensor in the Force is a big deal for people who put it on the shaft of their trolling motor. And I would imagine this has a lot to do with the new Kraken coming out, and the new Kraken has has something that's on the shaft that allows you to mount the Livescope transducer directly through it and run the cables of the Livescope up through the shaft, so they're protected. Well, that is an awesome feature, and I can imagine that on the new Forces, when they do come out, that'll be a feature that has. But that's a wonderful thing there, being able to run your Livescope up through the shaft, and by doing that, you're protected a lot better, especially in the stumpy environments and things like that. So it's downloading all the black box stuff. I got two black boxes, as you know. We got one in forward, one running perspective. There they are right there. Somebody asked me how I kind of mounted these, so I want to take a look at this. There's a lot of stuff in this one. It's kind of a random one. I'm using the Summit one up top for the perspective, and then I use the forward. I use the actual one that comes with the DD26 live foot. It's a really solid mount, and it's a 0 degree mount, being that it's on the pole. That's how it is. A lot of people have asked about that, but let's get into it. Let's take a look at a few of the things they've updated. I know they did some stuff with the mapping to make it a little bit more accurate. So as we dive into it, we're liable to find a lot more, but this is the initial update for it, and this is 274 for the black box. I'm gonna have to look at the exact number and I'll post it in the title. But let's get into it. Let's dive in right now. Let's go. Right, so first I want to cover one thing, and I'm gonna I'm gonna tag the video in the comments below. I upload it to an SD card from the Garmin site. Just type in Garmin Marine software updates. It'll download, and then all you do is double click on it and extract all. Extract all, choose your card drive, which mine is G. Card drive, download it or extract it to your G, which is your SD card. That's it. Very simple. I have the video for that goes through the whole process, but it's so simple to do that. Always, as always, you know me, SD card only. And one other thing I knew, they did fix some things with the Active Captain. I don't know all of those yet because I don't use Active Captain for downloading. But okay, so we downloaded. All you got to do is put the card, turn the unit on, let it go through its initial setup, insert the card, and it's going to say, do you want to update? Install now, install later, and of course install now, and it's going to tell you it needs to take a long time, don't disconnect the power, so forth and so on. Very self-explanatory. You can go through that yourself. Very easy, but I'll tag that video, put it in the comment section, description, that way you'll know exactly how to do it. And so that will help you get it on a card. It's there you go. So we're going to go to that. Now we're going to take a look at everything and go from there. All right, so I went ahead and decided to do a screen capture on this to be able to see and talk about it as we're going through. Now, what I have done is I've just uploaded. As always, I've reset to defaults on both of my units, both of the black boxes. Now, there's a couple changes that happen right off the bat. They put up a brand new banner system. And so instead, whenever you push a button that doesn't coincide or it's not chosen, or if you try to power it off, it doesn't exit the screen and immediately go to the home screen. It just brings a banner up in the top right-hand corner. Very nice and neat and things like that. But let's go through what the Livescope adjustments are. First of all, they fixed the thing where it was saying sonar module not found. They fixed that. That was a big complaint. There's no new colors or anything like that. You go through all of those. And as we're going through here, I went ahead and reset all my stuff. I love 80 color gain. I like 0 color limit. In most situations, I have been known to use it a little bit when you get the pollen, and I've had some videos on that. I just wanted to go through all the different things here. Layout, nothing really has changed. In the beam icon, if you decide to use it the old way, it has heading up, north up, those type of deals. Nothing has changed anywhere. On-screen controls, nothing's different. Went to overlay data, nothing really changes there. Now, as you know, I use install depth of 2.5 feet, and I got a video coming up on that we're going to talk about why I use that. I've talked about it in videos before, but it's something we need to discuss because a lot of people have got a misconception about seeing some things I'm going to show you. But they've changed the name of AHRS. Now it's called stabilization. It's simply auto stabilization on or off. But here is something that we're going to really talk about. The heading sensor. Now you can choose between using the LDS34 if you have it on a pole, or using the trolling motor's heading sensor that's built into the Garmin Force. Now this requires a Garmin Force that's linked to your chart plotter. If it's linked to the chart plotter through the Bluetooth, then you'll be able to use the trolling motor's heading sensor. And if you use the Livescope transducer on your trolling motor, that is amazing. Now they also have a transducer mount offset. If you use an 8-degree offset, for example, if you're using a trolling motor mount and you got an 8-degree offset, you can set that up. Now, let me be honest with you. I don't know how this is going to affect or not affect the readings. I need to understand more about this, so we will get to that a little bit later on, but just wanted to bring that up. All the other things that we talk about, we will dig deeper into it. I just wanted to get out in front and show you some of the really nice features. And also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the trolling motor, using the trolling motor heading sensor, how that affects the beam icon on the screen, which is very, very nice. So let's take a look at that right now. All right, so I want to show you what the differences is for example, if you have the LVS 34 or 32, 34 in this case, on a pole, you'll want to choose, if you don't have a Steadicast sensor, that is, you'll want to choose the LVS 34 heading sensor, because that will display how it's displayed on the screen, will be shown in the beam icon, will be affected by how it turns on the pole. So it will only move when the LVS 34 moves. If you have it on the trolling motor, and for people to put it on the trolling motor shaft, the heading sensor in the Garmin Force does not require the boat to be moving forward and backwards. It essentially is a Garmin Steadicast. Now, when you have with a Garmin Steadicast, you'll notice, and we've covered this in other videos, if you drift backwards, the map will flip if you didn't have a Steadicast. Steadicast keeps the map from flipping because it knows the true front of the boat, back of the boat. It knows, you know, where the front of the boat is in relation to the Livescope at all times. That's a very, very handy tool. But one of the things that, if you don't have it, you'll notice when you drift back, the map will spin. Well, being that the Force trolling motor has a heading sensor built in, now, if you've got it mounted on the shaft, I want you to look right there in that corner. And I'm going to turn the trolling motor to the right. Now, it may fault out because it's on my tire down there. Watch. You see it turning? That is mirroring the direction of the trolling motor, no matter if you're moving forwards or backwards or anything. So if you have it mounted on the shaft, you don't have to worry about the map flipping as you're going backwards. It's going to mirror the direction of the trolling motor. So that is going to be able to, you'll be able to use that icon again. If you have a Garmin Force trolling motor, you'll be able to use that icon that was so popular and then they took it away. Well, now, being that you're using the heading sensor on the trolling motor, it's going to be very accurate, number one, because it's going to directly mimic the direction of the trolling motor, as opposed to trying to take the reading off of the Livescope itself. That's an important deal for a lot of people that do mount them on the trolling motors. A lot of the crappie guys don't use poles and things like that. That's going to be amazing, because that was one of the features that everybody loved, but it wasn't quite so accurate, because when you started drifting backwards, you know, things got a little, they could get a little haywire. The maps don't know which direction you're going. But now with it, the heading sensor built into the trolling motor, it's going to be very accurate. People are going to love it again. I think this is a big deal. Now, in terms of the temperature, the transducer offset, I'm going to need to research that before I can give you a whole lot more of that. I use a 0 degree, but some people use an 8 degree and things like that. And I'm going to need to learn what that is before I comment a whole lot more further on that. But this is a lengthy video, but it was a good video. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned. We're going to start putting these videos out again. Baseball's over, baby. We're rocking it. And you know, as always, ring the bell.